There was someone seems to be walking down the stairs. In that secluded surrounding, her sandal tapping sound was the only sound that could be heard. Not so soon, a man wearing an elegant suit was seen behind her. "You can't leave me here. Wait for me." He said those words delicately, but his deep voice can make someone run shiver down their body. But she was there, ignoring his words, and came downstairs, lastly standing near the couch. I started checking my phone in order to ignore his words and his presence. This time I didn't have much energy to argue with him. He's always like this. Now I was just so done. Her act didn't work as reaching downstairs, he made his way towards her, sneaking his arms around her waist. She sighed while rolling her eyes. There he was, snuggling into her neck, inhaling deeply. "I promise I'll make it up next time," he said, closing his eyes. "I don't believe you, nor I want to believe you now. You know that your words affect me the most." "I don't care. Why don't you understand? It's our seventh time we're attending this so-called business party. These 2 weeks were hectic. I thought you took leave to spend that time with me, but you just..." He did felt guilty. He knew how his love was failing, but as a businessman, his work is also important for him. He exhaled while digging his face in her neck and continuously placing soft kisses to calm her down. "Is your work your first priority now?" she said sadly. Backing off, he frowned while listening to her, but still felt heaviness in his heart. Grabbing her arms slowly, he turned her to face him. "I don't think I have to answer. You already know." "No, I don't know." She looked in his eyes. "Okay then, just tell me once to drop my job and I'll do it." Low sigh left her mouth. She knew, just if she'll say that, he'll not think twice to leave everything. For him, she is the most important. Though she knew all of it, but still felt unsatisfied. "Fine then, I'm not telling you to leave your job, but just leave attending parties for today." "So clever you are," he pecked her lips. "I know already that you can't do that. I don't want to argue. Let's go." She turned to leave. "You know that I'm suffering more, my love." He folded his hands. While frowning, she turned to face him, as he was looking at her with a little smirk. "In what way you are suffering?" She rolled her eyes. 7 nights. I controlled myself for 7 nights. You don't have any idea." He shook his head. "You still have the audacity to talk dirty." "Nothing is dirty. It's only my love. My love for you." Giving the pure smile while talking unholy stuff. "You got talent." He chuckled, looking at her, and in no time pulled her towards him, making her collide with his chest. Keeping his giant veiny hand on her waist while caressing her head, he was embracing her securely. "I promise to cancel all the upcoming parties and give you my whole day. Then you can do anything you want to do with me." "I can feel you still smirking." "Well then, you'll be punished later," she chuckled. "Being dominant, my love?" "Yes, I am." "Now if you leave me, then should we go?" She smiled. Losing his grip around her, he backed off. She smiled last time while fixing his collar as he softly grabbed her hand, intertwining his hands with her. He kissed her hand with pure love and both left at the end. "It's been a while we are here, and this man is not even caring about her wife being all alone." Sipping that cherry red wine, she looked at him with her piercing gaze from far, and he was there getting along with others, having his neutral expression. At the end, this man is just so hot to handle. See those perfect pair of eyes, that knife-sharp jawline with these cute red cheeks. How can a man be cute and hot at the same time? Sipping her wine silently, she kept looking at him, basically craving for his attention now. Front took over her face when she found him not looking at her once. He was too focused on his work. "Should I just leave? He'll not care anyways, such a busy person." She rolled her eyes and eventually scoffed. "Everybody is introducing their wives, and him? I'm going to kill him if he'll not take me with him in 5 minutes." Being impatient, she tapped her heels on ground, hoping for him to come anytime soon, but that didn't happen. Shaking hands with all the ladies without taking a single glance at her, she was already disbelieved from the scenario. Though he was not being all smiley, but the fact that she was not being introduced like others was making her hurt and mad. With no interest, I was looking at his direction, But there, a not so pleasant scene was poking my eyes. An unknown faced woman, or was eyeing my man up and she clenched her jaw. I'm going to kill. She dared to bite her nasty lips while seeing my husband. Fixing her outfit, she walked towards him while having her scary witch look. Working on new product is difficult. Well, it's more like a challenge, but let's see who'll win. He smirked. There's nothing to go. The discussion was interrupted when someone came beside me and grabbed my arm. Just by that touch, I knew she was my love. I turned to face her, but expressions didn't look so good. Where were you looking at? She directly threw those words on her face, taking everybody off guard. That lady blinked her eyes twice, trying to get her words, and he was there with a little frown on his face. Now please don't play dumb. I clearly saw you eyeing my husband with your ugly, nasty eyes. What are you talking about? He whispered. Excuse me? She scoffed. You are mistaken, miss. I have my man right beside me. Why would I look at yours? She smirked. Your ugly face is making me puke. Let's go. Not now. Wait there, please. I'm coming. Why not, love? Are you? She scoffed. Fine. Not caring about him anymore, she went away, making him look at her with his worried eyes. He sighed while clicking his tongue. I must say your wife is wild, but I was not pleased about what she said to my wife. Be careful with your so-called wife. She was there, standing near one table, while sipping the wine in anger. This was the very first time something like this happened. Moreover, he was not on her side, according to her. I really want to leave this place. Are you Mrs. Kim? Unknown man interrupted. Well, yes, I am. It's really good to see you here. She bowed her head. Nice to meet you too. Don't feel uncomfortable, but may I know where is Mr. Kim? She scoffed. Who knows? I guess he did something wrong. She nervously chuckled. Maybe. Just that little conversation made a smile stick on her face. Other side, he was trying to find her among all the people. However he is, I heard a lot about him. He's really good with his work. I appreciate. Yes, though he makes me mad sometimes, but... So ladies and gentlemen, I'm thankful to all of you for joining this party. Thank you for taking part in my happiness. The success our firm got is all because of the hard-working people of our company. That man's voice rang through the speakers, taking everyone's attention over him. Now the man that recently worked with our company and got us out through all the hardships, please give him a warm welcome. She looked at him shocked. Oh, congratulations. He chuckled. Thank you, miss. I was not so pleased when I found her in that crowd, smiling and giggling with the other man. She's waking the beast inside me. Looks like his wife is also here. You never told us about your wife. Please introduce her today. Where everyone was smiling, there was someone whose face was contoured with rage. His fist was clenched, digging his nails directly in his skin, but he cared less, and clicking his tongue went towards her. Before I tried to clear everything, a familiar giant hand roughly grabbed my arm, and all I could see was me being pulled by that person. She called out his name. His dark eyes and the way his veins was popped out. Seeing him like this was already making me dead inside. I didn't know how I'll face this man at home. I was still being pulled by him. Whole car ride I tried to make him understand, but he didn't intend it to hear me. Pulling me with him, he was going upstairs. Her eyes widened. Why we are here? I never allowed you to talk, he said in dark tone. She looked at him all done and pulled his hand with all force, trying to stop him. He turned around with his red eyes and slammed her on the wall, making her shiver with closed eyes. Will you listen to me? Why? You want to tell me that it's all a mistake of that? Whatever it is, I'm not in a mood to talk, she scoffed. Even if it's not my fault, you're already mad at me, but before when you took that sides. What about that? He gritted his teeth. You know that I can never do that. She rolled her eyes. Who knows, maybe that was attracting you? He slammed his hand on the wall, making her lock between his arms. She gulped in fear when she saw his bloodshot eyes and sweat forming on his head. Now she was clear that he's out of control. I guess you know that what will happen now. His jaw was clenched as his hands were shaking due to the anger. She tried to avoid his eye contact, but he was non-stop looking at her with his dark aura. Don't you dare to look at me now. If you'll dare, I might not be able to control myself, he said in a scary voice. I was instantly gulping, but I knew how difficult it will be for him. His anger is not something easy to deal with. He's someone who let his tears out in anger when he is with me. Slowly turning her face to meet his red eyes, she was suddenly lifted up in the air. He made her legs wrapped around his waist and tightly got a hold on her waist and without further delay attacked her lips. Though she knew about all this, but still got startled, he was a real beast. He was doing everything as rough as ever. Holding her tightly in his arms, he took her inside. Taking her in that dark room with red light covering the surroundings, he threw her on the bed and looked at her with his half-closed eyes. You know that I love you, she gulped. This will not save you tonight, he said while smirking. Getting near her, he hovered over her, making her look at him while blushing. He smirked in satisfaction and pinned her hands above her head, looking at her hungrily. You are so beautiful. What you said earlier, I don't want you to repeat that again. I only belong to you, and you are only mine. Without giving her a chance to speak, he kisses her lips, temperature rising in between of them. That's when he suddenly got up, getting the AC controller, turning the AC on. You know, it's going to be too hot. You'll not be able to control it, my love, he smirked.
Thanks for coming this long way. Hope you liked it. Love you.